All right, guys, let's make sure that everything's done. Okay, give it one more minute for make sure everybody gets on. I hate that it doesn't start automatically. I think there's a way to do that. Oh well. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I surely am. Now, I got the required pain medicines that I needed to have, and it's hard to think sometimes when I'm like that. You know, I'm in lots of pain and stuff. Neuropathy's terrible, man. But all right, let's get started here. Wow, didn't mean to push that at the same time. Excuse me, I burped. Yeah, I know this is not very professional. My my name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Noir Apology Gaming. What we do here is listening to talk. Today I want to discuss something that's been on my mind for a couple weeks now, and everybody's got their own view of this subject, and that is your goals. What does that mean exactly? Well, the idea of the ingredients and the steps is to help you achieve whatever goal it is at that moment. So let's think about it like this. I'll use my life. I'll even use Dwan's life too. Hey, what's up, Denise? Hey, Denise, just stay on for a little bit. I know you probably got to go to bed. Denise is 2 hours ahead of me, so you know she's with family. But so I'll use my life for example. When I first started this journey, my goals were real simple. Well, no, they weren't simple, but they were real low key. Like you guys wouldn't have considered them goals in the sense of that maybe you guys didn't have those problems. One goal was try not to be drunk on Christmas. Okay, silly, right? No, but for me, thank you, Denise. Thank you, little lady. She's so tiny. I like her. Little tiny little Denise. She's a Miko. She got me a Miko. See, Denise is sitting there on the wall. Should have Denise right here on my shoulder. So, at first, when you start this journey, your goals are going to be like that. They're going to be stuff that people can't see. People can't. They're not necessarily going to reward you for it, and maybe even sometimes they're not even going to believe you're going to be successful at it. And it's going to be like this for a little bit. You got to be able to take criticism because there's going to be lots of people that give it. Especially when you're trying to change your life, you got to know what you're doing wrong. In my case, Sophia would remind me all the time. I would ask her, and I just kept asking her all these different questions about, am I doing this right? Am I doing that? I didn't trust anything about myself. You know, some people accidentally get in trouble with the law and they stab people. Does that mean I'm afraid of them? No. They made a mistake. It is not my requirement or your requirement to help a person, but it is your human duty to make sure a person is okay, in my opinion. So your goal might be, how about today I won't stab somebody? Because people get afraid of people like that. My goal was don't get drunk on Christmas. It doesn't matter what kind of things like that. When I first started this journey, I wasn't even human. And if you would ask Dwan, neither was he, but his journey was a little bit different than mine. I'm talking to this lady right now. I hope she doesn't mind I'm mentioning her name. But she has an amazing story. I get inspired by stories of work. I don't want to listen to somebody's story about their pain and suffering. I want to see how they work through it. I don't care about that. That's not useful. In AA, you're not allowed to share war stories. It's not an insult to call a dead man dead. It's not. It's not a sin to call a dead man dead. You know, in the Bible, you weren't allowed to accuse somebody of a crime unless you have 2 or 3 witnesses. When 2 or 3 people are saying the same thing about you, you need to perk up your ears. It's something that, it was a terrible lesson I had to learn, that that, I'll give you an example of something stupid, and this was stupid. Some of you guys are aware, some of you guys are not aware, and I tell people all the time I don't have a child, but the reason why I do that is so I don't have to tell this story every time. The truth is, I do have a child, one son. Well, when Desiree was pregnant with him, we went over to my family's house, and I was surprised by my grandma being there, because my dad didn't know. She just showed up anyway. So Desiree unfortunately had to meet all of my family while she's pregnant, out of wedlock. Yeah, my dad's a preacher, not good. Well, my family acted like stellar. That they never said anything, but my aunt and uncle, Chrissy's mom and dad, just basically asked me, "Hey, Daryl, so what are you going to do now?" Well, I got so offended by that. So offended. But in reality, the reason why I was offended is because it's true. What was I going to do? When you have deep questions about yourself like that, it's hard to take criticism. You take it as insults. That's really the truth. When someone says you're lazy, and another person says you're lazy, and another person says you're lazy, and it's like 4 or 5 people in a row that say the same thing about you, perk up your ears. There's a reason why God said 2 or 3 witnesses. Okay? Anna, you're not allowed to talk on here, okay? I said, listen, don't talk. Nobody wants to hear what you have to say. You said what you have to say. You know, some people are going to get restraining orders filed on them if they're not careful. Because when you act crazy on a phone with somebody, this what happens. But see, I don't want this to be about personal stuff. This is about helping people. Some of the stories that you hear, that I hear every day, are so inspirational to me. This woman, Kimmy, she just told me one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. She said how much did she say she lost 250 pounds, 200 pounds? Hell, I was impressed with Dwan. Dwan lost 150. But people don't see past their own issues. Dwan has, for example, cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy, guys. And he was willing to work off his weight. Some people are just lazy like that. They don't want to work for what they have. They don't know what it is. The idea of the ingredients and the steps are very simple. The ingredients are there it's a power behind your actions. So, for example, in everything, by the way, it's want to, the ability to have ambition. Some people don't have it. Some people don't have ambition, and when you try to give them some, they reject it and say they can't. That word doesn't exist in my world. You're not associated with me if that word exists. I'm dead serious. All of my friends, all of them, work for what they have. Denise worked to be a lawyer. She's got a story too. I don't know if I have permission to tell her story, but she's on here. Anna does not have permission. Anna committed a very serious crime earlier, and she's being punished.
And if she says a single word to me, right now she's going to be booted. Okay? Anna's got her own story. Anna thinks I don't listen to her. I heard the part where she stabbed somebody. I heard that part, yeah. There's not very many people that even want to talk to somebody that's done that. But I was willing to talk to this person. The problem is when you're going through something, you don't want to talk about your anger issues. That's an anger issue. Nobody just stabs somebody. Nobody. That's a fact. You know, have you guys ever heard that? Like, you know, you hear couples like, I'm sorry, honey. I was drunk. Even alcohol and drugs are not an excuse. Alcohol doesn't make you hurt your wife. Alcohol doesn't make you cheat on your wife or cheat on your husband. That intention was already there. It just dropped your inhibitions. I have done insane shit when I've been off my rocker. And some of you guys aren't going to really want to hear this next part. And trust me, not like this anymore. Before I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and this is what I was trying to explain to Anna, I hurt my mother. My mother. I love my mother. Now, me and my mom, we've talked about this 1,000 times, and she knows the situation was dire. The situation was bad. I hadn't been diagnosed with anything yet, and it was bad. I was off my rocker. I was crazy. I hate that word, but I was crazy. The reason why I believe that if you look at all of the most successful people on the planet, Steve Jobs and those kind of people, they naturally carry some of these things. But when you have, in other words, like they can naturally carry the ingredients. Think about Steve Jobs. He had to have want to. Hell, Steve Jobs got fired. I want you to think about this. You have to be a really badass to get fired from a job. That job goes so bad after you leave because they screwed up and they fired the wrong damn person that they hire you back. Steve Jobs was that badass. He got fired from Apple, went somewhere else. That was in the 80s or something like that. My point is, he could have gave up. Now, for people with mental illnesses, this is not so simple. The reason why I tell you to carry your ingredients on everything is because even walking to a store, you can screw up. I know that I can screw up. I know that I can. Well, one of the reasons why I don't own a car, everybody keeps asking me, why don't you own a car, Daryl? Well, I'll tell you why. So long as alcohol goes into this body at any point, I will not get in a car. I had a car once for 3 days before they gave me my first DWI. Only one I've ever had. Took my car away. I've learned that lesson and learned it one time. Never want that again. It's too dangerous. Sometimes you have to take away something from your life that you know you're going to screw up. You just know that it's trouble for you. Some people can't see the forest for the trees. And they don't understand what inspiration actually is. What inspires Daryl to be better? It's other people's stories. It's their work through it. I don't get inspired by people's sadness. It doesn't inspire me, it makes me sad. I don't get inspired by laziness. How could I? Juan works his butt off every day. He doesn't steal things at work. Things like that. I mean, just things that people know not to do. Juan is a great example to people like Anna. And unfortunately, no one here wants to be friends with people like that. When you basically tell me and Dwan that we're not successful because we can't support ourselves, you just insulted every homeless person on the planet. We don't do that here. When you say that because you can't support yourself, like literally I was just told this in front of Sophia, y'all. if you're homeless or you're going through struggles right now, I want you to listen to this. What if I were to look at you and say, you're not successful because you can't support yourself? So you might have a handicap or something, so you're never going to be successful. If that's your definition of successful, get the fuck out of here. You have no place in my world. I believe in a world in which even people that have troubles can be successful. Okay? The thing is, all right, we're about to have the Buddha. I'm ashamed of myself. Oh, not really. Hey, Denise, I need you to boot both those two. In fact, right now. Mute. Are y'all watching this? Y'all on live? Hey, Duan, do you see this shit? Anybody who's looking at this, I want y'all to take a picture of this. I'm supposed to listen to a person because, like, Rebecca doesn't know me at all. That's Anna's sister. That's defending her little, poor, little, fat little sister, and that's sad. But I need to bump boot these two. Mute this one. Okay. One second, guys. Hey, do y'all see this? You know the thing is, y'all. This is the sort of thing that happens when people don't understand what you're actually trying to do. This is what happens. Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna have to get off here and get back on. I gotta block some people.